Hey guys, Legendary Grimlock here, and if you guys see this video by the time it actually hits New Year's, well, Happy New Year. There's gonna be some new things for this channel, new ways I approach certain videos and stuff, and yeah, I honestly hope you guys enjoy this here. And today, it's obvious, it's the King of the Monsters versus the Ancient Serpent. So let's get right into the meat and potatoes. Let's get down to the bone of what we came here to do here. And it's, well, Godzilla from the Monsters versus Dalamadur from Monster Hunter. What else can I say here? Starting off with the King of the Monsters, he easily should be in the planet to maybe star level ranges. I mean, this Godzilla has done a lot of multi-continental stuff and even fought multi-continental beings to the point where you could honestly say that, yeah, he should be planetary at this point here. For starters, he was able to tank the Permian extinction when he was in his younger state and was able to survive that and many other catastrophic what's it called, global events like the Ice Age, which was caused by Shimo apparently, and even battled Shimo. So yeah, you could easily use that feat to also get him to multi-continental. He's been able to fight against monsters that would also scale above his younger self's durability, like Skeela, Tiamat, Amalok, Behemoth will each scale above that younger version of Godzilla's durability because they're able to fight relative to each other and are able to hurt Godzilla frequently here. So these guys are, I think it's pretty simple that these guys are pretty powerful, easily multi-continental in their attack potency. But Godzilla is still the strongest out of this entire group here. Godzilla has also been able to defeat characters and monsters like the Muto Prime. The Muto Prime can pretty much create any earthquake in history. It doesn't matter how big it is, how small it is. It doesn't even matter if it's old or new. This may even mean that the Muto Prime this means that the Muto Prime can generate the same continental shifts that may have even torn apart Pangea. I know it's a wild guess here, but again, if it can mimic any earthquake in history as stated by the person or the people who made the comic, I think that should be at least a valid estimate onto what the Muto Prime is capable of and would still be around the multi-continental stage. Godzilla also has his atomic breath here, which in a weakened state, by the way, has been able to drill through the hollow earth, has been able to, burn monsters like Kong and even King Ghidorah despite his biology. Godzilla's atomic breath actually works to such a degree here that it's even able to work while he's underwater, even being able to destroy a oil rig or at least I would probably say a hunter's rig that was capturing like kaiju and stuff and just blow it to smithereens here. Godzilla's atomic breath can also possibly be scaled higher than his actual physical strength because it's been able to knock back Ghidorah, who I guess you could say is physically equal to Godzilla or possibly slightly stronger, is able to, get knocked back by this atomic breath with absolute ease here. So again, it's just, again, the atomic breath is ridiculous here. And with how it's able to burn through even the strongest Titan's skin to the point where these other Titans are like casually fine by just getting hit by nukes, and even the heat and radiation from nukes are nothing more than batteries to them. Like, it's just like, you get a mild you just feel your skin burning a little bit, but then it just goes away. It's probably just the same way as that. But overall, yeah, Godzilla should easily be a planet 2 star level monster. But here we have his opponent, Dalamadur, the OG of the giant elder dragons, one of my personal favorites, right after Nergigante. But what about Dalamadur? What is he capable of doing? Well, for starters, he was capable of shaking the new world by simply just him shifting. Just from simply him moving around and stuff, he's able to shake the entire new world. Keep in mind that the new world, sorry, not the new world, the old world, I mean, these, well, technically in general, these maps or these new and old worlds or whatever are all a myriad of continents that are put together, putting this serpent at already multi-continental just by simply moving. There's also the Dalamadur tail shell feat where his, the hunters are like harvesting him and stuff, and when his tail shell or his tail spikes or whatever came off, it shook the entire world, which you can easily put at planetary or, again, possibly multi-continental if you want to get it there. Which means that Dalamadur, by a simple scale, which is like dead weight at this point, is already just shaking the entire planet. There's also other Elder Dragons he was scale above, like Nergigante, who he himself could easily be put at planetary because he is one of the top tier Elder Dragons. And this is important because Nergigante is someone who hunts disaster Elder Dragons like Sherry Ishvalda, Amatsu, Shantien, and even to a degree Kushala Daora and other Elder Dragons. Keep in mind, these Elder Dragons have the power to distort and even threaten entire regions, which are again a myriad of multiple continents that are put together. So again, this will put Nergigante either at the multi-continental plus margin or again the planetary margin, which I would actually grant Nergigante, especially Runer Nergigante, because he would already be stronger than a regular variant. Dalamadur's Fire Breath has also allowed it to do things like being able to create a river of stars for the Earth to admire. Now, this does mean Dalamadur's Fire Breath, which is honestly realistic, is as hot as a star. And being able to create at least 4,000 stars in the sky, you could possibly get that to around solar system levels if you really wanted to get there. Again, I like to go with the more high ends of feats here and the more higher interpretations here because, again, these monsters are consistently just built like that. I mean, yes, they're animals, but they're animals with feats. So Dalamadur already being able to reduce a solar system level feat just by spraying his Fire Breath. Keep in mind, Dalamadur's Fire Breath actually comes from the fragments of stars that come down to Earth. It's actually a tradition for young Dalamadurs to go up and just, catch these fragments of stars, which you could possibly put that at, light speed capabilities, or at least probably like Mach 33 if you really want to get it to there. But they're able to successfully catch these stars, and then once they eat those fragments of stars, it becomes their Fire Breath. And this is actually important because this allows them to bend and manipulate those flames in many different ways. They can do a beam, they can even do like a like this little fireball they just like spit at you and just cause to harm you. It's absolutely ridiculous. Dalamadur's durability can also scale to multiple weapons that the hunters use, even from members of the Fated Four at their deviant or variant stages, which are in some occasions Elder Dragon level, which I have just proven that could be around the multi-continental to planetary margins. And Dalamadur can be somewhat unfazed by this until eventually all the wear and tear that the weapons does weakens it in order to, you eventually just take it down. So again, it's pretty consistent with Dalamadur. Dalamadur is a pretty consistent monster. I don't really think he has a low showing. I mean, other than the fact that he probably would just eat everything, I don't really think that's an issue. But I think that kind of wraps it up for Godzilla versus Dalamadur. But before we do that, and before we really get to the breakdown, I want to thank some people. I really do. I want to thank not only just my subscribers, I just want to thank a couple friends here. And the reason why I want to thank them is because 6 years ago, I really didn't see myself continuing it. I thought I was just, spitting out this random knowledge and facts about Godzilla and stuff. And then eventually, as you guys know, I became a Transformers channel because Transformers were just so underrated. I had all this knowledge on Transformers, and I felt like nobody else would have shared this unless I did, which is how Legendary Grimlock was eventually born. But I like to thank these people for not only helping me with my channel, helping me with my Discord and stuff, but helping me grow as a person, helping me grow as a, what's the word I'm looking for? As a YouTuber, as a content creator. So I like to start off with Nothing Important here, who was honestly one of the first few friends I've actually made here on YouTube. Watching his Destiny scaling, his Optimus Prime scaling, him inviting me to Discord and stuff here, it was really just a help for me, and him also helping me with my knowledge on Transformers, Godzilla, and other franchises. I really want to thank him for that. Next person I'd like to thank is, again, another good friend of mine, Danny Boy. Now, Danny Boy is the person that's actually been helping me a lot here, especially with some of the scaling I made, especially for Skylanders. He's taught me how to do thumbnails because, again, I really didn't know how to, I guess you could say, properly do them right now. Still working on them to a degree here. But again, he's helped me with thumbnails. He's helped me with videos. He's helped me with Transformers. And I've helped him the same way. And in all honesty, I really appreciate the work he does, both on TikTok and even though it's limited on YouTube. So go sub to these two people. And again, go sub to the next few people I'm about to name as well. Next up, we got Godzilla King of the Monsters, and shout out to one of the best Godzilla scalers I have ever had to see and witness, especially opening my eyes up to other variants of Godzilla, like Super Godzilla, and even going further with Heisei Godzilla, who I probably would have never gotten to, past Complex Multiversal without his scaling. Because again, I always thought he was around like 5D. Then I realized the super gravity metas, how Yamato no Orochi and stuff like that, who are now probably like key important scalings for the rest of my videos. It's absolutely ridiculous how powerful Godzilla is. Go sub to him, and I like to thank him for also helping me out with my Monster Hunter scaling, as I don't think I would have put the, I guess you could say, the hunter himself in a lot of videos without the scaling him and his Discord have provided me. And last but certainly not least, King Churros. Now, King Churros is, new to the channel. He's new to the legendary family, obviously, right? But again, he's one of the first few people I've actually collabed with on something. It does take a while to talk about all of these Godzilla monsters in one video, and I'm happy to not only find somebody that shares this knowledge just as much as Godzilla King of the Monsters does, but someone that, is also easy to talk to, someone that's also easy to, pal around with and joke with. It's absolutely amazing that, and how helpful he is here. We still got 2 more videos to do. We got to redo another one, and I think we got one more. I am going to discuss it with him at some point during this new year, but I just want to get some things situated before that. And finally, to who else but my subscribers. I really want to thank all of you for your support, for your advice, for the knowledge that you share, and again, just for helping me out, figure my algorithm out, telling me that, hey, you could probably just cut this off and, maybe just make it quicker, which again, I will be doing now with my versus videos, so we don't, prolong it, because I understand it does get a little bit, it gets really tiring. I'm not even gonna say a little bit, but in all honesty, I really thank y'all for the support, and I acknowledge each and every one of you from the first to the last. Probably ain't gonna be a last, but you guys get my point, right? But thank you all, and I hope y'all are having a happy new year. So let's get to this matchup. So the reason why I chose this matchup is because, one, Godzilla started this channel 6 years ago, and now he's gonna be the one to, I guess you could say, end it for this year. I know I've never done something like this before, but again, it is honorable to kind of end it like this. End it off for 6 to now possibly 7 years. Wow, it's crazy. But who wins between the Monsterverse and Monster Hunter? The Elder Dragon versus the Ancient Titan. The Ancient Serpent himself versus the King of Monsters. Atomic Breath versus Starfire, or Sapphire Breath, if you will. But yeah, let's talk about it. Who wins this matchup here? And in all honesty, I do think Dalamadur is going to be the one to win this. You see, the scaling for him, you can range it easily from, again, planetary to solar system, while Godzilla simply has, planet to star. I mean, even a simple scale from him is already doing multi-continental damage, while Godzilla, he's able to tank that kind of damage and stuff. But again, I guess you say the evidence or the lore behind Dalamadur, the feats that he's able to do, the obviousness of him being able to consume these other high-level monsters like Devil Joe, Sticky and Zenogre, and so on and so forth, which could easily be around the same level as Elder Dragons, which are planetary, or even, again, at their lower ends, multi-continental. And the same with Godzilla. With his planet ends, you can even go to his lower ends being multi-continental. And again, his highest end is star. The same way Dalmador's highest end is solar system. But believe it or not, I do favor Dalamadur, especially if we go to like the higher ends of the feats. But if we go to like the mid-range or the more consistent end for the feats, which are like planetary and stuff like that, I would probably favor Dalamadur, because eventually his size, weight, and the things that like are his fire breath and his scales are probably just going to do a lot more damage to Godzilla, especially once he starts wrapping around him and probably could just pick him up and slam him. He's over 3,000 like feet tall or 3,000 feet long. I mean, whatever you guys want to call it here. But at the end of the day, I do favor Dalamadur with at least high difficulty if we use their consistent ends. Low difficulty if we use their higher ends. Or maybe mid difficulty with the higher ends. It's still Godzilla at the end of the day, right? But anyway, that's going to be all for today. And I wish you all a happy new year. Peace.